G'day everyone, Uncle Jojo here, great to see you all again. Karen, Kazza, g'day Kazza. This question's from Karen. She's got a query for me about floorboards. Why the floorboards open? She's got a newish home and she's got cracks between her floorboards. Now, in today's day and age, with all the technology that we've got, floorboards don't really grow and shrink too much inside if they're directly fixed down with glue and the proper nails or fixings. I've got a floor here today. It's an American oak floor. It's been laid for about 2 years. What we're going to do is just have a look at the floor and I'll show you how it has moved and how it hasn't moved. And then if you've got any questions about that after the video, then shoot me over an email and I'll answer them. And you can see this is our a couple of main walkways. There's the kitchen up to the laundry, and then we come down here again. And it's all the way up the hallway, and you can see there's no floorboards that have opened. There's no bows or warps. I can safely get my side rule, and we can see that there is no warps or bows or pops or cups in those floorboards. There is, however, just a couple of boards right near this window that are opening up. See that? Now, they're not much. They're only about 1 mil, and they only happen every now and then. Here's another one just here. So what that's from is, firstly, the position of the window. The window itself is facing northeast. Northeast, summer, sun, very hot, and it's attacking straight on this spot. There's no other openings in anywhere else because we've got an eave that comes over this, which gives us a bit of a shadow over the floor. So you won't see any cracking or opening up anywhere else. It's only in this direct place. Now, with so many new homes being built these days, a lot more glass is being used. If you don't use the proper glass, there's many different types of glass, and if you don't use the proper double glazing systems or laminating systems, then what happens is too much heat gets in. I can see here, after 2 years of use, that not too much heat has gotten in here, but what these little cracks are showing me is actually the moisture in the air has been taken away. What that is because of, mainly, is aircon units, splitties and things like that. What they do is they suck the moisture from the air. Unless you have an evaporative air system, they keep moisture in the air. But usual splitties, which I'd say 50% of homes, 60% of homes have these days, they actually take a lot of the moisture from the air. The other thing is heating system. So in the winter, a lot of people switch their heaters on and it sucks a lot of the moisture from the air again. So what happens is there has to be an adverse reaction. And timber, being always a live product, whether it's in a tree or cut up and used, it will always be subject to the elements and its temperament. So what happens is if we've got the aircon going, or if we've got the heater going and it's sucking moisture from the air, something has to give, the floorboards give first. Now it's not much, but it's enough. We're talking a couple of degrees humidity or temperature, and then we've got 0.5 difference of movement. You'll have a look at one of my videos, it'll explain the 0.5 movement. What we need to do is make sure there is moisture in the air. One of the best ways that we can do that is to have a vase with some flowers in it, and you can actually watch the water go down over a few days if there's no moisture in the air, is it uses the water in the vase to put moisture back into the air. When that happens, moisture will then, instead of being sucked from the timber, will stay in the air and come out of the vase. Really good trick. Another thing, Kazza, it would be the face fixing. So if you've got an old home and your old home is face fixed or directly fixed straight down to joists, what we have is the elements underneath the house playing a big part in how those floorboards, the temperament of those floorboards. So if you've got under the house, it's very close to the ground and a lot of moisture coming in, those floorboards will always stay very damp and moist. And that's when they start to cup because they swell. If you have them high off the ground and it gets very dry under the house, then those floorboards will actually start to separate. So again, you need to bring moisture back into the house. You can also put secondary insulation in, which is an underfloor insulation. You can do that, but you need to have a bit of space to get under there and be able to do that, unless you get a really small little person to shove under there and get them to do it. Another thing, only a small thing, but if you've got floorboards and they're squeaking and things like that, talcum powder. So if your floorboards do move and they start to squeak and stuff, just get a bit of talcum powder. I know we don't really use it that much unless you're a grandma or a grandpa or me. And you put the talcum powder on those joints and you rub it in and then leave it and just sweep it over for a couple of days, and eventually it'll seep into those joints and you won't hear half as many squeaks. It doesn't work 100%, but it works probably 85 to 90% of the time. Kazza, thanks for watching, thanks for your query, and anybody else out there with any other questions or queries, please flick them over to me. Until then, stay unreal, banana peel. Thanks for watching.